Yahoo! Welcome, my beautiful brothers and sisters, fellow radiators of love, to Astro Fenixx, flying into the moment yet again, and radiating love as always. And welcome to your Moon in Aries transit video, kicking off this new lunar cycle. And we are going to be dancing in the fire. Forgive my terrible dancing just now. But we're going to be dancing in the fire. And this video is actually inspired by one of the biblical stories. The one I'm thinking of is the one of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. I apologize if I butchered those names. But this told the story of three Jewish youths who refused to bow down to this image of the king. And the king threatened that anyone who would not bow down to this image of him would be thrown into a fiery furnace. And these three youths decided to not bow down, for they believed in their God, and they believed that their God would protect them. So the king threw them into this fiery furnace and made it 7 times hotter than usual. Damn, someone was a little narcissistic, right? And lo and behold, they were not burned. There was a fourth figure, an angel, the Son of God, was also in the fire with Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. And in many ways, people can do this to us, where we do not give in to their demands. We do not give in to the image, not necessarily that they want us to bow down to, but we don't necessarily give in to the image that they project onto us, the image that they want us to become, the image that they want us to project out into the world. They try and mold us into a particular way. You have to remember that this moon is going to come on top of Chiron. At the time of making this video, it already has. It's going to square the nodes, it's going to square Saturn, it's going to square Pluto. So there's definitely going to be this societal pressure, especially with all that Capricorn energy, which in many ways, since Capricorn is in many ways it's the top of the mountain, it can represent kings and politics and this higher order. But with all these energies there, the South Node is there, with Pluto's there, it's already destroying things and revealing a lot of the darker side of Capricorn. Saturn's busy trying to rebuild shit, but it can't rebuild that fast. Things are still crumbling, right? So with this new moon in Aries, that's going to be coming up during this cycle, and as the moon squares the nodes and all this Capricorn energy, and then of course the North Node in Cancer, this is about feeling deeper into our soul and deeper into our core and realizing that we are protected. We are definitely protected. And if we truly believe and we truly have this deeper sense of faith and we trust and we remain grateful, and we will see that going into this fire that people may cast onto us, whether they actually do it literally, which I hope not, but people will do this. People will cast you into a fire. They will try and burn you alive because you don't necessarily conform to their ideal. And the reason why they do this is because they are not strong enough in who they are. Because if they were strong enough in who they were, they wouldn't have to burn anyone who doesn't recognize them. They would just, their confidence in themselves isn't determined by other people bowing down to them. It would just be there. They would just radiate in that. They would resonate in that love for themselves. And it's not a narcissistic love. It's a healthy, deeper, empathic love for themselves. But if they go like, oh, well, they just try to pass it off. If they just try and like, oh, well, you're this, you're that, you're this. They start throwing slurs around. They start calling you names. They start doing all this sort of stuff. They start castrating you, essentially. Then that's a reflection on their character, not yours. So, and know that if you are being thrown into this furnace, You could dance in this furnace. And that fire, that pyre, is meant to be a creative, regenerative force. With the new moon in Aries, all of our characters are being regenerated right now. We are going through this deep metamorphosis. And this metamorphosis is guided by God, by Goddess, by Source Universe perspective. Every single one of us has guides and angels that are looking out for us, that are protecting us. And through this new moon phase, through this metamorphic phase where we are in many ways being thrown into this fire. And really what's throwing us into the fire may be other people, but it also can be our former self. Our former self which still wants to try and hold on from the last new moon in Aries. Trying to hold on, but it's crumbling away. His face is crumbling. Her face is crumbling. It's just falling away. I'm seeing like a statue that's like suddenly just turning into dust. That's trying to hold on. And then from that dust, from those ashes, arises anew, like the phoenix, a new character, a new self, a new you. So, do not be afraid by being in the fire. Dance in the fire. Dance in the fire. Sing in the fire. And allow yourself to be transformed anew because you are becoming a new self. And especially with all these energies going on this year, this new self is going to be a very radical self, a very creative self, a very experimental self. All selves are experimental, but this one is definitely special. Not saying that any of the other ones aren't special, or any of the ones in the future when we come to other new moons and Aries aren't special, but there is a quintessential essence about this self that's coming up that is really undeniable, and you will see why in the coming months. That is it for this reading. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. And if you'd like a personal reading with me, beloved, you can follow the link in the description below to astrofenixx.com. And as always, my beautiful brothers and sisters, always remember to keep moving forward, to stay focused, and yahoo! Smile often.